Hey everyone, Fred here from Lean Muscle, and I wanted to talk to you about undergoing a 12-week challenge, which is obviously 84 days. Now, the reason why 12-week challenges tend to be successful is it holds you accountable. It's a really good start and end. So you've got 84 days to really give it your all. So with that in mind, your mentality will set in. Now, generally, when I undergo clients to do a 12-week challenge, whether it's online or face-to-face, there's a couple of things that come up. First thing is obviously the excitement of running a 12-week challenge and being involved in that. You're going to feel really comfortable with the whole 12-week challenge, and you're going to kind of like be really excited that you undergo the journey. And generally, that's the first week when that kicks in. The other thing that happens initially is you're going to get sore. So your muscles are in new territory and you're going to feel a little bit of soreness and stiffness, which is quite okay and quite acceptable. The other thing you notice more so in the second week is that you're going to have a little bit of resistance in regards to maybe revisiting your goals, and you're going to find it a little bit tough, and the old habits are going to set in with regards to your nutrition and getting up to move as well. So that'll generally happen in the second or third week. Then once you get over that hurdle, you'll find that you'll really start to work on change, and change will really start happening and building momentum and progression, and you'll move from maintenance to progression. And what will happen in the third and fourth week is that if your goals are big enough and magnified enough, you'll find that you'll start making change, and it'll start getting easier. Things like your stomach will start to shrink a little bit because you won't be eating as much volume of food, so you won't feel kind of like always hungry, and you'll feel kind of satisfied because your stomach shrunk as well. You'll start seeing in the mirror some results, and quite often for guys it's around the upper body of the neck and in the lower back, and for women it tends to be in the legs and the arms initially. And then around about the fourth week is kind of the business end of the week, and that's where the challenge in the fourth to about the 8th week, this is when you're really going to have to dial it up and really work on your intensity, really work on what you're doing with feeding yourself. Are you giving your body the nutrition it deserves? Are you making really good changes? Are you committing to the cause? Are you thinking when you started on the first week, hey, this is getting really harder, but I'm really starting to get a result? And as I said, I find that around about 12 weeks is a really good way. So between the 4th and 8th week is really when it starts setting in, and really when change happens. And then from about the 8th to 10th week, you're dealing with resistance, you're dealing with a whole lot of obstacles, you're questioning whether or not it was a good decision, or you could be just keep going. You really keep going, and you're heading north, and you're really making some great decisions, and you're building momentum, and you're probably revisiting other goals now, and you're working on that, and you're thinking what's going to happen after the 12 weeks. So for some people, they will find that if by the 8th week they're not getting the results they want, well, then their goals haven't been big enough. They're not big, hairy, audacious goals, I call them. So you really got to revisit your goals around about the 1st or 2nd week. Get your friend or a family member to check in on you. Ask for feedback. Constructive feedback's really, really important. And by the 10th week, I think you would have developed more and better habits. So these habits have been ingrained in you, so you're no longer reaching for foods that don't serve you anymore. And by this time, you're starting to see a lot of changes, and by the 10th week, I reckon people are complimenting you on those changes, and they're seeing, hey, check him out, he's really made some really progression. And by the last 2 weeks, I think this is the time where you're really going to set in stone what you've done in the last 10 weeks, the mistakes you've made, how you've learned from those mistakes, and then you're going to keep developing momentum. So again, the 12 weeks is a really great way to see what your goals are and how your goals are in check. So if you've got any questions about that, feel free to comment on the link below, and would love to hear from you. Thanks.